How to make your client to say yes in Zoom meetings. Out there, a lot of people are struggling when it comes to Zoom calls. Let's say you reach out to a client, he's agree to have a meeting with you, one-on-one through Zoom. Now, if you ask one question during that time, with just one dumb question, you ruin the entire call. And the client probably gonna ghost you for just asking one dumb question. But how to make sure you ask the right question? So let's get into it. But before we get into it, let me tell you that every time before you talk with our client in the Zoom or before you join in a Zoom call, you have to do this one thing. It's really important that every single one of you should do it. Even I'm doing it, so you have to do it too. Because every time when you're trying to go in a meeting with a client, you have to be prepared. You have to act like you're the master of what you are doing. You have to do your research. You have to do your homework. Because once you get into the meeting, you're prepared. You already have all the information about that client. So once you get into a meeting, you're absolutely killer when it comes to that Zoom call because you're prepared, and the client will be surprised because he'll be like, oh, this guy knows more about my business than myself. So it's something that you have to do it before you get into a Zoom call. Now you are in a Zoom call with your client talking face to face. So you might be asking, what do I have to say now? First, say do a normal human being greeting. Ask him how was his day, how is he doing, normal stuff.
Now, the first one is you have to ask a question that is powerful enough to make your prospect think in a completely different way. A question that gives you enough information that will lead you closer to the sale. You have to ask thought-provoking questions. For example, John, what would you do if you lost 10 of your loyal customers? And follow that question by, and what's your plan to keep them loyal? These questions make your prospect think in a different way. Even though these questions doesn't have a specific product or service behind them, these questions are thought-provoking questions. Let's go to the next one.
Now, the next one is what to ask that sets the tone and the perception of a buyer. If you begin your conversation with the phrase, what's your experience with product or service? The prospect turns into wisdom provider instead of information provider. A lot of people are making a mistake. They're trying to educate the buyer, educate the prospect. But here's the truth. The buyer do not want a lesson. They want to know that you respect what they already know. This type of question does two powerful things, right? It shows that you respect their experience. It helps you to understand where they are coming from so you can help them better. Your job isn't to talk a lot. Your job is to just ask the right question that gets your prospect to open up mentally and emotionally. So let's go to the next one. Next one is what you ask is determine their response. If you are looking to get into the battle of why your product is better than the competitors, or why your price is higher than them, but if you ask a question on saving money or betting, the answer that you will get is the price or what kind of deal you can give me. But if you ask a question about productivity and profit, you are going to get the answer that leads you to your prospect motivate for buying. The next one is what you ask either make the sale or break the sale, because the question that you ask during the sales are super important. They can either help you to close the sale or blow it completely. If your questions are smart, thought-provoking, and different from anyone else, then the buyer will respect you more, be more honest with you, be more likely to work with you or buy from you whatever you are off. But if you're asking the same boring questions that everyone else asks, the client won't feel like you're any different from anybody else, and they might not trust you enough to buy. So at the end, your questions are the critical factor of how your customer perceive you. If they are intelligent and engaging, they will consider you as a person of value. But if your questions are dumb, they will consider you as a salesperson of price. But it all comes down to one question. What you say either breaks or make the sale. So next time, try to write down questions that are more likely new to your prospects. Once they hear it, and they be surprised like, wow, I've never been asked this question before. And yeah, this was it. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, if you want to scale your copywriting or sales game, or even one of the most important aspects when it comes to entrepreneurship is networking. If you want to network with people, go to the link in the description box. You will find a link to my free community. It's not for everybody else. I create that for myself. I wanted to have people around me so we could focus on what we are passionate about. So if you're someone who's trying to learn a skill, let's say you're trying to learn copywriting, marketing, sales, or even want to network with a lot of individuals, that is the only place that you need to be. That's only for people who are actually serious on making it to the top. So if you want to join that community, feel free, go to the link in my description box and you would definitely find it. Join the community when it's free, because the spaces on that community are limited. When it gets to 500 to 1,000 people, I would definitely gonna close that and no one will be able to join the community, because I want to have the real people around me. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. Thanks so much. And comment the word wisdom if it was helpful for you. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. As always, let's make it together.